The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Teenam Bora, welcome you all to this session of Learning Japanese for Better Career Opportunities, organized by the Training and Placement Committee of Delhi Metropolitan Education in collaboration with Wakaba Japanese Academy. We are living in a globalized world, and learning an international language always helps in furthering our career prospects and goals. To give you an understanding of benefits of learning Japanese language and how it will benefit you in your professional prospects, today we have a special guest, Ms. Sakshi Kurana, the founder of Wakaba Japanese Academy and N2 certified. Before we begin the session, I request Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean, DME Media School, to share his views on this session.
Thank you, Tina. So it's really a nice beginning, a great beginning that this session is being organized to set the tone for starting some foreign language courses in DME. Since long, we have been thinking on these lines that there should be some such foreign languages which should be taught to the students, and if students get that opportunity at DME itself, because the diversity of the student, like they are not only studying journalism and mass communication, but then business administration and law, and everywhere, whichever studies some student is undertaking, there's always a need for learning foreign languages. And as I look at this, now, there can be two purposes behind learning a foreign language. One, out of your curiosity, out of adding to something to your portfolio, to some new language, you can do it. And also you can use it for the professional purpose also, because learning of any foreign language opens new doors for a person. Like if I can tell you about my student life, I was fond of learning new languages. So even if that is there, you can do it, even if there is no straight motive behind. I did my Russian diploma, I did my French diploma. So all this I did while I was studying in the university. So that time, obviously, that was a different time. There was no avenues as such that if you learn this language, then you will get this or this kind of avenues, this kind of job opportunities. But today, in the 21st century, in 2021, the world has opened. And it's a global world. Despite this onslaught of pandemic, the world has really opened. So you can go to any country, you can pursue any career, and more or less in all the democratic countries, at least the doors are open. Since the economy in India also has liberalized, so both the options are there before a student of today. Either you can go to a foreign country and pursue a career there, or living in this country only, living in your own country only, you can do a lot of such things wherein your knowledge, your learning of a foreign language will give you the dividends. So both such possibilities are there. And since we have been a colony of the British, we have got English as a part of our legacy. So that's there. But then beyond that, if you learn a European language, maybe German, maybe French, then obviously the half of the world which is otherwise not open is open to you, because despite knowing English, we know that we have an access only to almost half or less than half of the world. There are other prominent languages like Spanish, French, German, which you need to know, and which are largely is spoken in many parts of the world. Again, for the reason as we were the British colony, similarly, many other countries in Africa and Asia, they were either the colony of the France or the Spain. Even if we talk about the Latin America, the South America, most of the countries were subjugated by Spain. So there are countries in Latin America where only Spanish is spoken, even their own language is not there. At least in our country, we speak our mother tongue, whether it's Hindi or it's Bangla or it's Tamil or Telugu. But there are countries wherein there is no place for their own language, which could have been at one point of time, but now it's all Spanish. So we are lucky that way. We already are blessed knowing more than one language. There are people whose mother tongue might be Bangla, but they know Hindi, they know English, they know Assamese, and like this. So already 3-4 languages we know. And if we try our hand on either an European language or an Asian language, and when we talk about Asian languages, then besides Hindi, 2 prominent languages surface on the scene. One is Japanese and the other is Mandarin, the Chinese language. So now both the languages have grown a lot, and China has also economically grown, so that can also help. But then Japanese is definitely Japan has been a close ally to India for the last 60-70 years. We have very close ties culturally, also economically now, and it's one of the developed countries of the world. Though in Asia we find most of the countries are the developing countries, but Japan, despite suffering so much in the Second World War, they have grabbed that slot wherein they are put in the category of the developed countries. So we can learn a lot from Japan, and we can open our prospects as far as the job avenues are concerned, as far as business is concerned with Japan. So it's a matter of happiness that this session has been organized. I welcome Sakshi Khurana to be with us in this session and apprising our students the importance of learning Japanese. So obviously, whatever I told you, that's a layman's perspective, but more in-depth understanding of Japanese as a language and the benefits involved of learning Japanese language and how it can be learned, the modalities of that and all that will be talked about to you by Sakshi Khurana. So I believe this will be an interesting session, will be an informative session wherein we are destined to learn more, to know more about Japanese language in particular, and Japan as a country in general. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now, it is time to request our guest, Ms. Sakshi Khurana, to introduce herself to the audience and start the session. The session will also be followed by questions and answers. So students are requested to write your questions in the chat box. Sakshi, please.
Thank you so much for inviting me today. This is Sakshi Khurana from Wakaba Japanese Academy, and I am N2 certified. What is this N2? I would be telling you in the middle of the session, along with the session. And as of now, just allow me to share the presentation. Just a second. Okay. So today's session is all about the career opportunities with Japanese language. Already, Amrish sir has explained the importance of bilinguals, that why we should know a couple of languages. I'll just take you through it. So first of all, I would like to tell you that what is Wakaba Japanese Academy and why we should choose Japanese among other foreign languages. Here, Wakaba is a Japanese name. Waka means young and ba means leaves. Here we aim at picking up young leaves and growing them into a tree with the knowledge of Japanese language. So we all think that I'm sure that everybody knows that learning many languages would be good, but why to choose Japanese language? First of all, as Amrish sir also told, that Japan is the third largest economy and Japanese is the highest paid language after Chinese. The Chinese is the highest paid language. Sorry, Chinese was the highest paid language, but now Chinese, after this pandemic and Corona, Japanese is the highest paid language. The technical relations, economical relations, trade and diplomatic relations between both the countries, India and Japan, are now very strong. You all must be aware that how Mr. Modi has developed the relations between India and Japan. And now, third thing is, after this pandemic, after this all Corona situation, Japan is trying to shift their base from China to India after Bangladesh and Vietnam. And shifting their base to India means that we would be having more opportunities using this language. And I'm sure that when it comes to mind in learning any foreign language, everybody chooses French, German, or Spanish and Italian. Nobody thinks of Chinese and Japanese, right? So why? Because of the characters. How is it written? Japanese writing is a bit different. That is why everybody thinks, probably everybody thinks that German and French are easy. So let us learn this and we can have something in our hands. But I would be clearing your myth through the session that Japanese is probably the easiest language to learn if we knows Hindi. Its grammar is absolutely similar as Hindi. Okay. Then here I would tell you some glimpse of Japanese language. There are 3 scripts of Japanese language. First is hiragana, second is katakana, and the third one is kanji. What is script? Suppose English is written in Romaji script, Hindi is written in Devanagari script. Similarly, Japanese also has 3 scripts. How these 3 scripts are, first is hiragana. Just a second. Okay. First is hiragana. Hiragana is written for Japanese origin words, the words which are origin from Japan only. Suppose Tokyo. Tokyo is the capital of Japan. Osaka. And any other word which is origin from Japan. Tsunami. Tsunami is again a Japanese word. It would be written in hiragana. Second, katakana. Katakana would be used for the words, for the foreign words. If I have to write America or my name, Sakshi, that would be written in katakana. It's same as ABCD, capital ABCD and small ABCD. This is the difference between hiragana and katakana. And there are 46 characters. Only this writing part is little bit difficult. Once in the beginning we learn this writing part, then rest of the language is very easy to learn. Next, third is kanji. What is this kanji? Kanji is the pictorial representation of hiragana words. Before moving on to kanji, I would like to ask you some of the words and you have to tell me in the chat box whether it would be written in hiragana or in katakana. If I have to write Tanaka, Tanaka is a Japanese name. It would be written in hiragana or katakana. You may answer in chat. Hiragana. Perfect. Perfect. If I have to write Delhi, it would be written in katakana or hiragana. Delhi. Perfect. Katakana. Now, I hope the difference is clear. And let me tell you, there are 46 characters of hiragana. There are 46 alphabets in hiragana and 46 alphabets in katakana. And unki pronunciation, its pronunciation is absolutely same as Hindi. Its pronunciation goes as A, E, U, H-A-O. This is how we pronounce hiragana and katakana. Then the third one is kanji. Kanji is the pictorial representation of hiragana. Every hiragana word would have a kanji. Kanji is a type of drawing. Actually, I'm not able to write on it. I just want to write with a pen. I'm not able to share whiteboard. If you could check.
You should be able to share.
I'm not able to share my whiteboard.
Maybe you'll have to stop sharing your PPT, I think.
Okay. Check. No, now also I'm not able to share.
But you have co-host rights.
Anyways, okay. Sorry, I'm not able to write on this presentation. Otherwise, I would have shown you how this kanji would have written. See, if I tell you the kanji, there is a word ki, K-I. K-I means tree in Japanese. Ki is the Japanese word of tree. How to make its kanji? Tree is very similar. I'm making the kanji in chat box. You may can see in that chat box. Just a second, I'm sorry. I am making the kanjis in chat box. Yes, somebody wrote Tanika Bajaj. Yes. This is ki. How we write ki. This is the kanji of a tree. If you just make a picture in your mind, that tree stands like this. This is how a tree is. And that is how we can just understand that this is a tree. Even if we don't know how to read it, but only by seeing at this kanji, only by seeing at this, we may understand that this is a tree. Then second, if I cut a tree, what do we get from a tree? We get paper. See the kanji I have written in chat box. I have cutted the tree from the middle. This is the kanji of book. We get paper from the tree and we make book out of it. This is how it is easy to learn the kanjis. I'll give you a couple of more examples. You know what is Japan known as? India's name is Hindustan, Bharat. What is Japan's name? Anybody knows? If you know, you may write in chat box. Okay, let me tell you. Japan is known as Nihon. Yes. Harsh, you have written correct. Earlier, it was known as Nippon. Earlier, it was known as Nippon, as India also has couple of names, Hindustan, Bharat. Japan also has its own name, Nippon, Nippon Airlines, we must have heard of, and now it is Nihon. Second thing, you know what is Japanese language known as? If we add go to any language, that becomes, if we add go to any language, that becomes a language. Nihon is Japan, and if we add go to it, that becomes Nihongo, is Japanese language. What would be Hindi language then? What would be Hindi language then? Hindi would be Hindi go. We just have to add go to it. Okay. Then somebody made the kanji of Nihon already. I wanted to tell you how this kanji is made. First kanji. The first kanji means sun. The first kanji, I'm sorry, I'm not able to write on the screen. Otherwise, I would have told you that how this kanji means sun. This kanji means sun. And the second kanji, what did I tell you? That the second kanji is. Second kanji abhi humne kiski batai thi? No, not tree. Yes, book. And book means we are getting our knowledge from book. origin. Our knowledge is being origin from the book. And you know, Japan is the land of rising suns. I think everybody knows that. सबसे पहले sun is सबसे पहले sun Japan में आता है. So Nihon means sun का origin होना. This is how kanji, what is kanji represents. Nihon. Sun is getting origin. ये कहीं लिखा हो, that means Japan लिखा हुआ है. अच्छा, एक और चीज बताइए. Japan would be written in hiragana or katakana? Japan. It would be written in hiragana or katakana? Katakana, perfect. Somebody wrote hiragana. No, Japan will not be written in hiragana. Nihon we will write in hiragana because it's a Japanese word. And Japan is not a Japanese word. It's same as India. Okay. Now, third thing I would like to tell you, what is Japanese people? I told you what is Japanese language. Please write in chat box, what is Japanese language? What is Japanese language? Japanese language को क्या कहते हैं? अभी मैंने बताया. Nihongo, right. What is Japanese person? If we add jin, to it, that becomes Japanese person. What is Indian person? India को कहते हैं Indo, and then when we add jin to it, that becomes Indian person. What is an American? American क्या होता है? What is American? Americajin, not Americojin. It's Americajin. I hope it is clear. If we add go to something, that becomes the language. If we add jin to it, that becomes the nationality. And I hope kanji ka concept is also clear. That I completely understand that you might think it would be very difficult to learn so many kanjis. But trust me, each and every kanji would come with a specific meaning. You would later on realize that kanjis are easier than anything else. Kanjis easy होंगी even if we don't know what to call it. मुझे नहीं पता कि उस kanji को मुझे क्या बोलना है, but I would be able to take out its meaning. Okay? Now let us learn its counting in Japanese. I'm just opening my counting page. Okay, I hope word sheet is visible to everybody. Word sheet दिख रही है? Okay, thank you. We'll study counting from 1 to 10. 1 is ichi, 2 is ni, it's written over here. 3 is san, then yon, go, roku, nana, hachi, kyu, and then 10 is ju. We just have to learn the counting till 1 to 10 and the rest flows. उसके बाद की it's very easy. How it is easy? आप लोग कांजी काउंटिंग यहाँ से देखेंगे और उसके बाद की जो मैं काउंटिंग पूछूंगी, you have to tell in message.
Sakshi, I think the counting is not visible on the screen right now.
Oh, sorry. Somebody wrote yes, that is why I started.
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just repeating it. You may check the last column. 1 is ichi, ni, then san, yon, go, roku, then nana, hachi, kyu, and ju. 1 to 10 counting. And uske baad ki counting we don't have to learn. We just have to learn 1 to 10, and then rest will come along with it. Kanji's counting you will see from here, and I will ask you couple of countings, couple of words, then you have to tell me. Suppose if we have to write 20, 20 would be 2 into 10. What it would be? Please write. Yes, ni ju. Students are smart here. Very quick. Niju would be 20. What would be 50? 50. Goju. Perfect. I want everybody's answers, please. Goju. Perfect. Then if I have to write 19, 19 would be 10 plus 9. What is 19? Not Ichi-Q. Somebody wrote Ichi-Q. No, it would be 10 plus 9. Ju-Q. Okay, last is 85. First, 85. 85. No, everybody is writing Hachi go. Please think once again. 85. Correct it. What would be 85? First, you have to make 80. 8 into 10. Hachi ju go. Now you are correct. I'll give you one more then. 93. First. 93. Yes, Harshit Tiwari wrote correct. Q Ju San. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I am back to my presentation. I hope my presentation is visible now. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I hope glimpse of Japanese is clear. There are 3 scripts: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Hiragana is for Japanese words. Katakana is for foreign words. Kanji is the pictorial representation of only Japanese words, only hiragana words. Our name doesn't have kanjis. Japanese name have kanjis. And what is the difference between Japanese and Chinese? You know, Japanese and Chinese बहुत similar hai. The difference is only that Chinese is 100% of kanjis, and in Japanese, it is the combination of hiragana, katakana, and then kanji. Acha, if everybody was listening properly, I told you that how many characters are there in hiragana. I want the correct answer, please. Kitne characters hain? 46. Great, great. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we'll make some sentences, some basic sentences to tell you, to make you believe that Japanese is same as Hindi. If you can speak Hindi, then Japanese is not difficult for you. If I'm saying मैं साक्षी हूँ, मैं in Japanese is watashiwa. Watashiwa is मैं. You have to replace it with your name. And who is desu? मैंने इसमें लिखा desu है, but it's pronounced as this. This. Please write your names in. Please write this sentence. Watashiwa dash this in chat box. Watashiwa Lakshmi this. Okay. And who else? अच्छा, if you have to tell your age, एक इसी में मैं आपको age भी बता देती हूँ. Great. इसमें मैं एज बताती हूँ. हम सबको काउंटिंग आती है. काउंटिंग के पीछे यू हैव टू ऐड द वर्ड साई, SAI, साई, एंड दैट विल बिकम योर एज. यू मे राइट वाताशिवा डैश साई दिस. सपोज यू हैव टू राइट आई एम 25 years old. हाउ वुड यू राइट दिस सेंटेंस इन चैट बॉक्स फर्स्ट? I am 25 years old. मैं 20 full sentence please. मैं 25 years की हूँ या का हूँ. Make the sentence in Hindi. Watashiwa jukyu sai desu. Ni jus issai desu. I think Tanika Bajaj knows Japanese. Great. Great. Okay, then second is I am Indian. I told you what is Indian. I को replace करो मैं. इंडियन हूं. अब लिखो मैं जापानीज हूं. मैं जापानीज हूं. वाताशिवा इंडोजिन दिस. ओके, मैं जापानीज हूं, ये लिखिए. वाताशिवा निहोंजिन दिस. परफेक्ट. मैं टीचर हूं. टीचर को कहते हैं सेंसे. अगेन वाताशिवा, you have to replace it with the word sensei this. Watashiwa sensei this. जैसे हम यहाँ पे टीचर को बुलाते हैं मैम, they call it sensei. Okay. और मैं टीचर नहीं हूं. When you have to negate a thing, मैं ये चीज नहीं हूं, मैं साक्षी नहीं हूं. For नहीं, you have to add ja arimasen. Ja arimasen. Now you all have to write मैं जापानीज नहीं हूं. मैं जापानीज नहीं हूं. How would you write? मैं जापानीज नहीं हूं. फास्ट. Somebody wrote वाताशिवा निहोंगो जारिमासेन. निहोंगो नहीं लिखना है. आर्यन कुत्ती. Not निहोंगो. निहोंगो is Japanese language. मैं ये तो ना कह रही हूं मैं जापानीज लैंग्वेज नहीं हूं. I'm saying I'm not a Japanese person. What is Japanese person? Correct it. Watashiwa sensei jarimasen. Nihonjin jarimasen. Perfect. Same. ऐसे ही पूरा throughout. You don't think कि I have just written couple of easy sentences, then आगे difficult हो जाएगा. No. Throughout the Japanese language, it is as easy as this. But obviously the words would get difficult. जैसे आप हिंदी में sentences बनाओगे, same would be in Japanese. You just have to replace those Hindi words with the Japanese words. This is it. This is how whole grammar of Japanese is. I hope it is clear. Okay, let me proceed further. About this course, there are 5 levels in German, Chinese, French. उसमें भी सब में levels होते हैं. Japanese also have its level. Its basic level is 5. ये 5 से start होता है. Back से backward start रहता है. N5, N for Nagaland, N for Nihon, N5, N4, N3, N2, N1. फिर आगे आगे advance होता रहता है. When in the beginning I told that I am N2 certified, my one level is left. Okay. So we would start from N5, the basic level. And इसके exams क्या होते हैं? There are 2 exams. One exam is JLPT, which stands for Japanese Language Proficiency Test. It is held on every first Sunday of July and December. It's कोई भी date हो, but it would be held on first Sunday of July and December. In this pandemic, this exam was not held. नहीं हुआ था ये exam. Like other exams, it was not held online as well. They won't believe us that online we know how would we do. Okay. Another exam is NAT. NAT is the exam which was started 3 years back only. It's Nihongo Achievement Test. By now, I think everybody knows what is Nihongo. And this is held every alternate month. 1 year में this is held. This is held every alternate month. So it will start from February. From February, then 1 month gap, and then it will keep on conducting. NAT का exam होता है in Gurgaon. There is only 1 center, Gurgaon, and then 2 centers are in South. And JLPT have 8 centers in India, all over India. Exam is held in Delhi universities, colleges, and in other cities. Okay. And these are the only 2 exams which who you must be certified with to be able to be placed in any company. None, let me clear you one thing, none of the institutes certificate would help you with any job. Even if you are scoring highest marks in your institute or by yourself, without this certificate, you won't be able to give any interview in any company for this language. So these exams are important, and these are conducted by Japan only. And we don't have to, one more thing, we don't have to write anything in these exams. Both the exams are MCQ. There would be 4 options. Suppose I told you that this is the kanji of Nihon. ऐसे ही Nihon ki you will have 4 kanjis. You have to tick which is the correct one. This is how the exam is all about. Next, one level duration is 5 months, which includes reading, writing, and listening. एक level 5 months में हो जाता है. And the fees of one level is INR 20,000 rupee. And the classes are held both online and offline. The institute is based in Gurgaon. On weekdays, it is thrice a week, 1 hour per day. And on weekends, it's 1.5 hours per day. And we understand that you must be having your colleges and then personal time and all. So we do have separate late night, late evening batches also to be more flexible with you all. Okay. And now, just a second. Okay, what is the career opportunities? The session is all about the career opportunities with the Japanese language. What all career opportunities you would have after learning this language? See, I would recommend everybody should know a foreign language. Everybody should be a bilingual, whether it is German, whether it is French, or whosoever languages, whatsoever language you are learning. Because today, single language person are not very entertained in MNCs, bilinguals, and not only bilinguals, it's the era of multilinguals. As in the beginning, Amrish sir also told that he also learned couple of languages. Everybody knows, किसी को कोई Japanese आती है, किसी को German and French. The combination of languages is good for your career. There are certain opportunities, content writers, creators, these are for BGMC students, web designers, graphic designers, digital marketer, PR, you know better than us that what are the career opportunities for you, but how this language will help you in your career is, in any of the Japanese company, if you would be placed, first of all, you would know that how these Japanese people deal. You would have a better understanding of their nature, of their culture. It would be easier for you to interact with them. It would be easier for you to communicate with them. Obviously, if I knows only Hindi language and my client knows English only, I would not be able to communicate with them. I would not be in a comfortable zone. I would find somebody who only, who can speak in a language which I am comfortable with. Same is with the Japanese companies, and not only with the Japanese companies, and the companies having Japanese processes too. Jidhar Japanese process hai, everybody would want. Suppose I have to write contents for a Japanese company. I have to write a content for Japanese company and for one normal company in English. The one who would be writing the contents or making the web designs or making anything with an additional skill set would obviously would be paid higher. If I am getting 10,000, you would be getting 15,000 or 18,000 for sure. Okay. Same with the BBA and BCom students. You have various opportunities along your way, marketing, sales, or you are joining corporate companies. Always and always, Japanese company would have an upper hand among other companies. I'm not saying other companies are bad because, but still Japanese companies, their culture, their way of treating their employees, they are it's 9 to 5 means 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, work-life balance is very important. You will not be forced to sit at your office after 5. This is how their culture goes. Next, for LLB students, these are the opportunities which you all must be having. Then, if you are being placed in a Japanese company or in any company who is having Japanese expats or Japanese processes, obviously, you won't be there to use your Japanese properly, but some of the phrases, some of the sentences, some of the communication in Japanese, or somebody is talking, or even knowing their behavior is will keep you here among others, because you would have the better understanding. If you know that how Japanese people would react to this, you would be upper than others for sure. Okay. Then what you all can expect from us, from Wakaba. After learning this language, you said, okay, you are learning this language for your career or for your interest or for anything. Then what in return you would get, or what you can expect from us, is job placement assurance. I would not say 99%, I would confidently say 100% job assurance in Japanese company, or the companies having Japanese processes. It could be Indian companies also, those who are exporting something to Japan, or to the multinational European companies or any other company having Japanese processes. For sure, you would get the placement once you are done at least till level 3. At least till level 3. Then internship insurance, paid and unpaid both. We would start you with the unpaid once you are done with at least one level, depending upon the skill set you have. Then you can take it further. Obviously, you will always have our back. We would take it forward together to make it paid with all of your efforts and skills. Then interview preparation for the companies. You would be prepared properly how to understand Japanese people accents. In our classes, we would definitely have the conversation classes with Japan expats, Japanese people, because if we know English also, sometimes it is difficult for us to understand American accent or any other accent, right? Same is the case with Japanese. We would train you in that also. Then you would get a chance to attend various cultural events, seminars about India and Japan from time to time. We would be helping you showcasing their cultures, their festivals and everything. And at the later stage, if you would be interested to go to Japan to study, we would definitely help you in student visa, for sure. And at the last, here is my Instagram handle. Even if you are not at the moment willing to learn this language, but you may follow this and can see how we teach, who we are. And here is my WhatsApp contact. You may contact me anytime if you want to learn this language. Thank you. And now if you have any questions, you may ask in chat box.
Thank you, Sakshi. Students, if you have any questions, you can drop in the chat box, or if you want to ask in person, you can just raise your hands and we will unmute you and you can ask your question.
Vishal Sahai has raised his hand.
Vishal Sahai is a faculty here.
Oh, sorry.
Students, do you have any questions? You can ask about, I think most of the things have been covered. Ma'am has already mentioned about the course and how you can get enrolled. But other than that, if you have any other queries, yes, Aryan Kutte is asking what is the minimum level requirement for fluent speaking?
For fluent speaking, if we talk about, if we talk about English, are we well enough fluent in English? We are studying since our school days, right? Minimum level is N3 to help us with jobs. But with fluency, it's all our practice. Somebody who is not having the levels, JLPT levels, are very fluent. And some people having the levels also are not very fluent. It all depends on it doesn't depend on level requirement. It depends on our practice. Is there any scholarship policy for this course? Scholarship policy, if you are talking about in Wakaba, if you are talking about in our academy, yes, initially you do have to enroll in every class, in every session, in every level. We select one student who gets maximum marks in JLPT, and we give 50% discount in their further course.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head, DAME Media School, to give her concluding remarks on the session.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Sakshi, for sharing lots of things. And every language is important. If we understand more languages, horizon बढ़ जाता है, job opportunities बढ़ जाते हैं. Knowing a foreign language is bliss. It gives you pleasure, it gives you confidence, it gives you a feeling of contentment. You might be thinking which foreign language you should learn. Among the languages of the West, you can choose among Spanish, German, or French. And among Asian languages, it is only Japanese or Chinese. Which language should learn depends on two factors. One, the ease in learning, and two, utility of that language in your professional life. जैसा कि साक्षी ने भी कहा कि this is additional thing. Yes, this is additional thing. Japanese is easy to learn. It has been explained to you already by Sakshi. And Japan is a fast-growing economy. So you have a lot of avenues opening up after you learn Japanese. So thank you, Sakshi, for such an interesting session. Thanks to all for active participation in this lively session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite our final year student, Soumya Saxena, to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Training and Placement Cell of DAME.
I would like to thank Ms. Sakshi Khurana, founder of the Wakaba Japanese Academy, for sparing her time for us and providing us with such an informative and interesting session. I would like to thank Mr. Aman Sahani, Vice Chairman DME, Honorable Justice Bhava Singh, Director General DME, and Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, for encouraging us to taking new initiatives. I would like to express my special thanks to Professor Dr. Rashmi Nagpal, Dean Law School, Professor Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean Media School, Dr. Purva Ranjan, Head Management School, Dr. Manasvi Sabrawal, Faculty BBA, and Dr. Komal Kapoor, Faculty Law School, and Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head Media School, for extending their full cooperation and support behind the organizing of the session. I would like to thank Dr. Krishna Pandey, Faculty Coordinator of Placement Cell, DME Media School, for her constant guidance and support. I would also like to thank Dr. Tina Bora, Sachin Nair, Yogesh Sharma, and Sumantra Das for technical support. Lastly, I would like to thank all the students for joining us today. Have a good day.
In DME, we believe in engagement and empowerment of students. And since the time this COVID-19 struck in 2020, we intensified this whole process.
For the education sector, it was a big challenge. At DME, our small dynamic team decided to take this challenge head-on.
We organized different kind of programs, different webinars wherein the distinguished people from the industry and other walks of life, they are invited to interact with the students. We try to keep them engaged in taking out newsletter, writing stories, editing stories, and not only that, they make posters, they make cartoons, they write pieces for the newsletter.
Mentoring Cell at DME is a very unique feature in the ecosystem of education. While the subject teachers forge the knowledge domain strongly, it is the mentors who reach out to students in difficult times. During pandemic, when our students faced loss of their loved ones, home isolation, and several other family issues, mentors ensured that students remain cheerful, lively, and stay connected with us.
We have ensured that our students are treated with compassion, warmth, and gentle touch. And it has been our endeavor to treat all the academic activities of our students, which includes PSDA, internal assignment, and various other curricular activities accordingly.
Research Cell also pays huge emphasis on interdisciplinary nature of research. In order to promote this, the research centers of the research cell were also motivated to join with each other and conduct research activities for students, faculties within DME and outside DME.
While the strong academics and great industry connect is building great lawyers, media persons and managers at DME, we at Mentoring Cell are enabling these future leaders to be compassionate, emotionally strong and resilient for any times to come.
We empower the students. All the schools of DME, they have their students council. In DME Media School, this council is part. They organize the program themselves, they take their own decisions and they mobilize the students for all the good cause.
Art has the power to unite and connect during the times of crisis. Bringing people together, sharing, soothing and inspiring are powers of art, which have been made empathically obvious by the DME cultural societies during the COVID-19 pandemic. By taking different innovative approaches in organizing various virtual competitions and events in which the students of DME have taken part with great enthusiasm and proved that DMEians are unstoppable.
Care with compassion is motto of DME. During Corona period, we were always with our students. Their well-being is primary for us. We take care of our students.
We met the expectations of the students, of the parents and above all of the industry. The placements this year were better than those of the previous years. DME is committed to supporting its students in all possible ways.